Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi, hello, my name's Morgan, and welcome to Morgan's Library. Welcome back everyone. Okay, so on today's video, we are actually going to do my March wrap up. I have a little notebook that lets me know everything that I read. I've actually read a lot of books this month. More than I thought I would. Quite frankly, I did not think I would get to as many as I did, but as you can see, I'm thriving. Don't know how, but I'm here. So yeah, so fair warning, some of these books I don't have physically with me because sometimes my friends will come up and ask me, hey Morgan, do you have any like cute romances? Do you have any like smutty romance? Do you have any good fantasy books? So then I actually do have my bookshelf categorized by like fantasy, romance. Ignore this shelf. Heartstopper was on there facing up, but I had to take books down so it's not anymore. But yeah, so some of the books I don't have physically with me because some of my friends have them, but I do know what books they do have, so that way I can get them back. But yeah, maybe I'll like put up a picture to the side of what the book is, maybe, if I remember. Editing Morgan, help me out girl, thank you. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get right into this video. I don't want this video to be too long, so let's go ahead and get right into this video. Alright guys, so I actually am going to go in a specific order. I'm going to go into the order of when I read everything. So in the beginning of this month, I finished the Tea Dragon Society series, and I finished it off with the Tea Dragon Tapestry. We all know that I absolutely adore and love this series. I just think it's so cute, so colorful, just like the illustrations in this book are unmatched. Like Katie O'Neill, she put like something in this, like I don't know what she put in this book or in this, like for me to love it as much as I do, but I was so sad when I realized like this is the last one, no more of this. Depression, like it made me so depressed. No guess that I gave this 5 stars. I'm pretty sure I gave every single one of her books a 5-star. This one was no exception. Like I absolutely love this book, and like I'm just so sad that this series is over, but like maybe if I have time, or like if I ever just need like a quick little thing that I can get through, this is the book or the series that I would pick up for a reread because I absolutely adored it. I just think it was absolutely so cute, so stunning. I like the representation that they have of like different, like we have one character that is deaf, so they have sign language, but then they also have diversity in these books. The dragons are the absolute cutest thing I've ever seen, so obviously 5-star. If you need a good cute graphic novel to read, I 100% recommend this. And if you're not doing this, you're doing something wrong. Sorry about it. Okay, so next up, editing Morgan, if you can, put a little photo right here. I read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Now, I didn't, book talk books, usually I always feel like you get overhyped, and not for good reason. I always feel like people always recommend all these books and they're never really that good. The Love Hypothesis is not one of them at all. It was one of my book of the month books, so I do have the hardcover version of it. That book was so good. I thought it was just gonna be like a little cutesy book, nothing about it. So I was reading it at work. Don't read it at work, guys. Don't do that. Like, take it from me, don't do that. I rated this book a 5-star, obviously. Absolutely loved it. Like, why? Like, I need that relationship in my life. Like Adam, give me a man like Adam. But it was, the one thing I would say about it, it's pretty predictable. Like if you first read the book, it's like a flashback of a guy that she met that she doesn't remember, and then you go to a flash forward. We clearly all know who the guy is and how the book is going to end, but even knowing that, that did not take my enjoyment away from the book at all. And I recommend this book to literally anyone who just needs a quick little romance. I finished it in a day. I would pick up that book. It was so good. 5 stars. Really made me happy that that book did not. I went in with low expectations and I came out with like, wow. Like one of my friends literally has that book right now because she was like, I want something that's cute but still has like a little spice in it, and I was like, oh, I got you. So I gave The Love Hypothesis, and if she talks crap about that book, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear her opinion unless she likes it because I love that book and I will be rereading it. Okay, So next up this month, I actually read Final Girls by Riley Sager. Now, if y'all know me, you would know that I do not read much thriller, like ever. Thriller never gets done by me. But everyone says that Riley Sager is so good at thriller that I was like, how could I not? Like, why wouldn't I? Like, I love the fact that, like, women, this book is literally about women, and then the plot twist at the end is like, wow, they make you think it's one person when in reality it's actually another person, and I'm just like, wow. So like, I enjoyed her writing, but I did rate this a 2.5 star. I think that mostly just might be because thriller is not like one of my favorite genres. So yes, the only reason it wasn't a 1 star is because the plot twist at the end was so good that I was like, wow, okay, that's definitely more than 1 star. But I don't think I would ever give this at least more than a 3, only because thriller is just not for me. And by the cover, I was expecting like more paranormal, spooky vibes. That's not really what it was. I love the main character, Quincy, in this book. So good. I loved her. And they make you think that like Quincy's like kind of bad, but like she could also be good. Maybe she's doing things for the good reasons, the right reasons, you never know. So like if you are looking for like a quick thriller, because I also finished this in a day. I read this during one of my girl, are you okay? 24-hour readathons that I had, and this is one of the books I actually did read. I started off my readathon with this book. I do recommend this. Like, for a girl who doesn't like thriller, I do like this book. So if you do want a good thriller, Riley Sager is good at writing it. I just dropped her book. Riley Sager, if you see this, please don't come for me. I didn't mean it. Okay, so next up, I read obviously, another romance, because I love romance, especially good floppy romances. But like, honestly, like, look at this floppy. Final Girls is a great floppy paperback. Okay, but I read Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. Now, I was kind of scared to start this book, because once again, I saw it on TikTok. And I was like, is TikTok really honest, or does TikTok really just kind of like, one person says this book is good, so everyone will say the book is good just so because it's popular? But actually, I did like this book. I gave it a 3.5 star. I liked the writing. Yes, once again, predictable, but I feel like most romances, almost all of them, are predictable, so I'm kind of like, okay. But like, it's very modern. Like, it follows these two characters who both have rival deli Twitter accounts, and they're feuding on Twitter, but then it's also like Cinderella story-esque because they're both messaging each other on this anonymous texting thing, and they don't know each other's identities, but they like texting each other and they like each other, but then they're also feuding on Twitter, but they don't know that. So it's like Cinderella story vibes, but also like very modern because Twitter, very modern slang. I really much enjoyed this book. I think it was very, very, very cute. I kind of did not like the ending a little bit because I think the ending was a little rushed. Like, I feel like either they could have made the book a little bit longer to kind of give us the ending that we deserved, or I don't know. I just feel like the ending was very, 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 very rushed, but I also did think it was cute. So honestly, can't be mad. Cannot be mad. Okay. Next book that I read was Check Please, Volume 1, or Book 1, I would say. Honestly, this book is stunning. I love gay representation in like graphic novels or books or anything like that, so any type of book like this I will most likely love. I gave this a 3 star. It's by Ngozi Ukazu. I think it's very good, very, very, very cute. And the moment I finished this, I went up and picked up the second one. I made my friend come with me. It was like noon, and I was like, guys, I need the second book. I made all my friends come with me. But yeah, I think it was really good. It's really cute. I do recommend this. Very quick. It doesn't just stick on like the romance aspect of everything. It also shows you like the friendship side of everything, like the friendships that the main character creates throughout the whole entire story. So I did like the fact that the romance, even though it was like the main story of this book, it wasn't the only story. Like, it made me feel a lot of different things. Like, it made me feel like, oh my god, her friendship's the cutest thing. Like, he has the best of friends. Like, wow, give me this life. But also, I could never play hockey in my life, so don't give me this life. But like, I just think it was very, very, very cute. A hockey player that loves to bake, who helps another guy kind of come out of his shell a little bit more. Who would not love this? It has everything that you could ever want in a book. So cute. Wow. Read this book and get back to me when you finish it, guys. Okay, next up, I would say is one of my most disappointing reads of that month is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. It's just so pretty. And I thought I was going to annotate this book, right? So I do have like a few annotations in this book. I have 2. I think they're sad annotations, like not even like, oh, this book is so good. No, they're sad annotations. But like I was like, this book is so stunning. I'm gonna love it. I didn't like it. I gave it a 1.5 star. Anything that has to do with sirens or mermaids, like I'm obsessed with H2O, one of my most favorite shows. I was like, anything with mermaids or sirens, I'm gonna love. I just could not. It was very like, so once the 2 main characters, 2 love interests meet each other, then the story just goes way too fast, and then you're kind of like, what the heck? And then the ending just was not for me. Kind of like, wow, okay. But I think this book is getting a second one. I think, by the way it ended. Oh, what does fate hold for Simi? Read on for a sneak peek at the next book. I feel like the next book will be so much better because this one was basically just pure world building, but once the romance started, it was just too fast. So I'm hoping that now that they know each other and everything like that, I feel like the second book will be better. And I'm hoping Owlcrate does something with the second book so that way I can have matching editions of the 2 books, or else that would make me sad. But yeah, I gave this 1.5 star. I just could not get attached to the characters at all. And yeah, I don't have much more to say about this book because I really did not enjoy it, but please leave in the comments down below how you felt about, if you've ever read this book, how you felt about it, only because it's such a pretty book. And mermaids or sirens, like how could you not like this book? And I'm so sad. I'm so sad, but yeah, nothing we can do about it now. Okay. So the next book that I read was a graphic novel. It was Ghosted in LA, Volume 1. I gave this a 5 star. I absolutely loved it. I just love, like, the illustrations in this are just, they're just so pretty and modern. I love it. It's by Sina Grace, Saban Kinnan, and Kathy Lee. I will be picking up the rest of the story because it is so good. I just read it way too fast. I just think the colors are so bright and so pretty. Like, how could you not enjoy this? Like, 5 stars. And it's just basically like romance, also not the main part in this story at all. It's mostly like friendship, helping people out. It gives me Scooby-Doo vibes. Like if the Scooby-Doo cast were all ghosts except for a few, this would be the story. Scooby-Doo. But think of Scooby-Doo more modern and, like I said, with ghosts. Stunning. Read this book if you haven't. If you're not thinking about reading it, rude. Also, gay representation. We have a main character who is a person of color. We have a lot of different, our ghost, a lot of different representations here. We have people of color, we have people, it goes from people all the way back in like the 60s. We have like a rocker girl. Like, you cannot not relate to someone in the story because they have every type of person in this story. Read it, then get back to me because it's so good. Wow. Okay, the next one is actually an arc that I got sent by the publisher. It is The Wedding Crasher. It did come out, I think it came out on the 5th of actually this month of April. It's by Mia Sosa. 5 stars. Once again, this cover betrayed me. I thought this cover, by the looks of this cover, that it was just gonna be like a cutesy romance. So I read it at work. This is becoming a trend. I read this book at work. Don't do that, guys. Do not read this at work. It has there's one scene in here that is so spicy, and that's the scene I read at work. If you read this book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, me and you, we are seeing eye to eye right now. If you have not read this book, read this book so that way we can see eye to eye with each other. But yeah, this book is, it's so cute, so good. The main character in this book, just, I don't know what to do. Like, I love this book. This book was so cute. Once again, you know the outcome of this book, but like, you don't care. I'm actually wanting to reread this today. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, should I reread this? I think I should. This was my most loved book that I read that month. Like, this was so good. Thank you so much, Avon, for sending me a copy of this book. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. Mia, your writing, beautiful. I loved every second of this book. I think I might be rereading this today, even though I'm in the middle of reading Splintered. I'm sorry, a reread of Wedding Crasher. If you like the Spanish Love Deception, you'll love this as well. I think that's what I should say. Yeah, if you love Spanish Love Deception, you will love The Wedding Crasher. If you love The Love Hypothesis, you will love The Wedding Crasher. So what are you waiting for? Actually, you know what? I'm giving you permission to pause this video, go to the store, and to go and get this book. And then read the book, come back to this video, press play, and then you can finish this video after you finish this book. Thank you. Now I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna let you guys read the book. Welcome back. Was it a 5-star? Didn't you love it? Exactly. Sorry for that. That was so nerdy of me, but 10 out of 10 recommends. It was so good. Okay, the next book was actually another disappointing read of the month. It was The Orphan Witch by Paige Crutcher. I actually got this in a blind date with a book. I have like a monthly subscription to something that's literally called Blind Date with a Book, and you get, it's like wrapped up. I think I posted it on my Instagram story once. It's wrapped very cute. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's like a book box, but you literally just get the book. And I was like, oh, witches. I love witch stories. I gave this book a 1 star. I feel like she just put too much into this story that I'm a fast reader. I'm a very, normally this would have taken me half a day, if that, to read. But it took me almost 2 days to read this book, only because I had to keep going back, rereading, going back and rereading, only because I think she added way too much stuff to the plot of this story that I would just get way too confusing. There was like so many characters, but like at the same time, most of the characters that they kept mentioning really didn't matter, but then for some reason they kept popping back up, and it was just kind of like, what is going on? And like the whole entire, it's very confusing. I liked the romance aspect of this book. That's it. The ending was cute. That's all I can give you about this book, because I was just confused. I'm a really good, strong reader, really fast, strong reader. This book confused me, still confuses me. Don't know what to do. Like, maybe y'all can read this and then explain it to me, because maybe I'm just dumb and that's why I couldn't get into this book. But I'm hoping it's not just me, because this book really confused me. But yeah, maybe I'll recommend this book to one of my friends so they can try reading it, and so that way I'll know if I'm dumb or not. Okay, next one is actually a manga. It is Saint Seiya Volume 1. I went to Books A Million and I saw this book. It was discounted, and I was like, you know what, I do need a new manga, so why not? Like, this is my only manga that I think I read this month, so I was like, okay, let me pick one up. So I picked this one up. It is by Masami Kurumada, and the art is by Chimaki Kuru. It's actually very, very, very cute. I love the artwork. It's very, very pretty. I love fantasy manga. It's one of my favorite genres. Like, very, very pretty. It's not romance. It follows like a sisterly bond and like trying to get back to your sister and stuff like that. This was like, it was very pretty, very beautiful story to read. The first volume does leave you on a cliffhanger. When I was buying this one, I figured I would like it, so I went ahead and bought the second one, but I have not read the second one yet, but I do plan on it if I ever have time. But yeah, I gave this one a 3.5 star. Very good. It's a cute manga, like cute, quick to read. I love the sisters in it. I think it's so pretty. 10 out of 10 recommend. Okay, next one that I read, my favorite book, like my favorite fantasy of this month, Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I read this because the second book of this one is coming out soon, so I was like, Morgan, pick up the pace. You need to read this book. I actually want to spray the edges of this book red, but I don't know if that would be too much considering that the book is red. You know, the whole book was wrong. So like, would that be too much? But I might just do it anyway. 5 stars. Finish this in a day. Could not put it down because like I'd be like, okay, one more chapter and then I'll be done, and then the chapter would leave me on a cliffhanger and I was like, okay, one more chapter then I'll be done, and it went like that until I finished the book. 5 stars. Like, if you're not reading this book, you're fake. You need to read this. And like, I think the second book is called The Dragon's Promise, and the cover for that, stunning. I'm so excited. Like, wow, like this book is so good. I know this used to be very popular in booktube, used to be, and it's not as popular anymore because it's kind of like an older, like it's not too old, but it's kind of an older book, but this deserves more hype. Why is this not on Book Talk? Why is this not the book everyone's talking about on Book Talk? It should be. So good. I loved how romance, once again, was on the back burner. It was like a subplot, still a plot, but not on the main focus. The main focus was family and helping family, getting through like different obstacles together. And I just thought that was so beautiful, so stunning. And also, it has dragons. Who cannot love a book that has dragons? It has witchcraft, dragons, you name it. But like, they didn't have too much in the story to where it got confusing. So it's like, wow. Get this book. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Loved it. Okay, the next one is also a book I don't have a cover of, so editing, Morgan, if you can. Thanks. I read The Spanish Love Deception by... Do I have that? No, I don't. My friend actually has that. By Elena Armas. Once again, I made the mistake of reading this at work. Aaron. Let's talk about my man Aaron. My favorite guy. Like, wow, get me a guy like Aaron. Who wouldn't want that in their life? He's so cute, so good to her. The banter in this book was so good because you're kind of like, are they gonna end up together? Because the way they would fight with each other, you'd be like, no way, they just argue too much. But then you're like, but that makes for great chemistry with each other. So like, I want them together. It was such a good book. I loved the aspect of how the book also did have actual Spanish in the book as well. I don't personally speak Spanish, but I can appreciate the fact that they actually put Spanish lingo in the book. I love her family. Her family is so funny, so cute, the best. I want a family like hers. I just think that would be funny for us. Probably wouldn't be funny to her, it'd be funny for us. Also, I think that book has another scene in it. Yeah, but yep, I gave The Spanish Love Deception 5 stars. I don't know if you're seeing the pattern here, but this month was actually very good for me in reading. I didn't have too many disappointing reads. Most of my books were 5 stars or 3 or more. It was a good reading month for me. It really put me in like a reading mood. But yeah, Spanish Love Deception. Thank you, Chloe, for recommending that book to me. So good. Okay, so the next book that I read was Check Please Book 2, which is actually the ending of this graphic novel. I gave this one a 5 star. I know it's crazy because I gave the first one like a 3 star. I gave this one a 5. These two really just make me so happy, and the ending of this book was just so good. And once again, just like the illustrations, I want to show you a page that maybe won't hold too many spoilers for you. That just kind of looks cute. But like, okay, I can show you this. Like, hockey is still very much so a massive impact of this book. Wouldn't expect it any other way. It was very good. Loved it. Would recommend. 5 stars. I don't know what else I can really say about it, but like, so good. Okay, so the next book that I read was Books with Chloe's Patreon Buddy read for the month, and it was Starmish. Sorry guys, no sleep, nothing in the brain right now. Starfish by Kimmy Bowman. Once again, it's a very different genre from like everything else that I read this month, but this book, I give it a 3 star. It was very like, you were just rooting so much for our main character, Kiko, that you were just kind of like, I'm rooting for her. Like, she deserves the world. Like, give her whatever she wants. Stop bullying my girl. She deserves anything and everything. But yeah, I love this book. It was just so cute. Made me tear up a little bit. I didn't full on cry. Like, I don't know if you guys remember You've Reached with Sam. sobbed. This book, I didn't really like full on cry, but I had a little bit tears, only because you get so invested with her that whenever anything bad or good happens for her, you either get very happy for her or very sad for her, and you're just like, wow, what do I do with my life? What do I do? There's romance. Why do I keep dropping books? But I caught it. But yeah, there's romance in this book. Who doesn't love romance? But it's also like a getting to also love yourself, which we all need to do. Like, she learns to love herself in this book, and I just absolutely love that about for her. But yeah, 3 stars. Definitely recommend this book to anyone and everyone. Okay, this is my last book that I've read this month. I know I've read quite a bit this month, but I actually did finish Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Gerber. I agree with when people say that you really don't need to read Caraval in order to read this. Like, yes, it gives you a little bit more background on everything, I guess, but you don't have to read it in order to kind of know what's going on in this book. And for some reason, I thought this was going to be a standalone. I did not know it was going to be a series. So me reading this book thinking, they haven't wrapped up this book yet. And I was like, I had like this much left. And I was like, the fact that they haven't wrapped up this book yet, I'm almost done. Only come to find out, it leaves you on a cliffhanger, guys. I really thought that this was this is going to be the only one of this book. No, it's a series. It's a flippin' series. But will I be picking up the second one? Yes, because this was so good. It was so good. I gave it a 3.5 star. I love Jax. Like, I literally gave Jax his own tab color, and it's green. So that way, whenever I need like a quick little Jax moment, I can just like, let me give you like a little thing that he says. Because she also has a really, really cute nickname. It says, "Self-pity doesn't look good on you, little fox." Little fox. I want a cute pet name, please, and thank you. But yeah, this book is just really good. I enjoyed it. I'm thinking that if I reread this book like in a little bit, I would probably give this a higher rating now that I know that it's actually a series and not a standalone. But yeah, love this book. I love their romance. But like, is there even really a romance? Because like, you're supposed to hate Jax, I think, but like I can't hate him. Jax is like my favorite person. I love him. Wow. But yeah, recommend this book. Literally, I would recommend everything that I read that month except for like 2 books. Everything else, I'm like, go read. And if you're not reading it, you're rude. Don't talk to me. But yes, that's everything I read, I think. Let me read. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I read 15 books this month. Is that right? Yes, I read 15 books that month. Considering most of them were like full-on novels, I'm still like a little, how did I do that? Don't know how I did that. You know what I just realized? I read more this month. I was confused because my thing says I read 17 books and I was like, that's not 17 books. Hold on. I read 2 more graphic novels. Not graphic, 2 more mangas. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, but I just ran out of space. So I read Waiting for Spring Volume 6 by Anna Shin. As y'all know, I absolutely adore this manga. It's one of my favorite romance mangas. And then I also read let me reboot. Momoti Lollipop, which translates to Save Me Lollipop, by Michio Kukada. I actually watched the anime of this, and that's what made me, like a long time ago, and that's what made me buy this. But apparently these are out of print, I think, and they're very hard to get, so this would probably be like a slow add to my collection. The only thing that I thought was crazy is like this one volume covers like the first like 5 or 6 episodes. So I have a feeling that the second volume will like finish like the anime series, and then the 3rd volume is gonna be like all new to me, and that's what I'm so very excited for. Like, I will, when I tell you guys that I will finish the series, because I need to know more, because the anime kind of left you on a cliffhanger and I don't think they picked it back up. But like, these are like the 2 romance mangas that I would recommend. This one is a little bit bigger, but I feel like these ones, like, they're just so good. Like, this is more like a fantasy romance. It's just, I'm so sorry guys, I'm throwing all my books at you. That one is more of it's a sports romance. But yes, I gave each of them a 5-star, I believe. I gave this one a 5-star, and I gave Waiting for Spring a 4-star. They were so good. My favorite anime manga. I will probably finish Waiting for Spring first, and then I'll finish everything else. But yeah, it was so good. No complaints. Now that is everything that I read for the month. So 17 books in total. Of 4 graphic novels, 3 manga. Everything else were actual novels. But yeah, that is everything that I read that month. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so sorry if this video is long. Please go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what your favorite book of March was down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and make sure you follow me down on Instagram. I'll have it down linked below. And also, if you'd like to give me a thing for my Amazon wish list, you do not have to, but if you would like to, I also have that link down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.